Welcome, everyone, to today's special episode on climate change. We're honored to have Dr. Green with us, a distinguished climate scientist and professor at the University of Environmental Studies. Dr. Green has been at the forefront of climate research for over 20 years. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Green.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Actually, Engage Encounter series are very interesting. I have watched all the series. It's a great place to discuss this global problem, which is climate change. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's dive right in. Could you start by explaining what climate change is for our viewers who might not be familiar with the term?
Of course. Climate change refers to significant, long-term changes in the average weather patterns on Earth, while our planet has always experienced natural climatic shifts. The term climate change today primarily points to the rapid changes we've observed in recent decades, largely due to human activities.
That's interesting. How exactly does this change happen?
The primary driver is the increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. These gases, such as carbon dioxide CO2, methane CH4, and nitrous oxide N2O, trap heat from the sun. Normally, the Earth would radiate some of this heat back into space, but greenhouse gases absorb and re-emit it, effectively warming the planet. This process is known as the greenhouse effect.
And what are the main reasons for this increase in greenhouse gases?
There are several key reasons. First and foremost is the burning of fossil fuels. When we burn coal, oil, and natural gas for energy and transportation, we release large amounts of CO2 into the atmosphere. Another significant factor is deforestation. Trees naturally absorb CO2, so when we cut them down, not only do we lose these CO2 absorbers, but the carbon stored in the trees is also released. Industrial processes and agriculture also contribute significantly, with livestock farming releasing methane and the use of synthetic fertilizers, releasing nitrous oxide. Even waste management plays a role, as decomposing organic waste in landfills produces methane.
That's quite a comprehensive overview. Now, let's talk about the effects. How is climate change impacting our world today?
The impacts are vast and varied. One of the most immediate effects is the rise in global temperatures. We've seen an increase in average temperatures, which leads to more frequent and severe heat waves. This warming also contributes to the melting of ice caps and glaciers. As these ice masses shrink, sea levels rise, which poses a significant threat to coastal communities through increased flooding and erosion.
And what about extreme weather events? We've seen quite a few of those recently.
Absolutely. Climate change is linked to an increase in the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. This includes more powerful hurricanes, prolonged droughts, and severe flooding. For example, warmer ocean temperatures provide more energy for hurricanes, making them more destructive. Similarly, altered precipitation patterns can lead to droughts in some areas and intense rainfall in others, causing floods.
That sounds alarming. How is the ocean affected by all this?
The oceans are significantly impacted as well. They absorb a large portion of the CO2 we emit, which increases their acidity. This process, known as ocean acidification, harms marine life, particularly organisms with calcium carbonate shells or skeletons, like corals and some shellfish. Additionally, warmer ocean temperatures can lead to coral bleaching, where corals expel the algae that live in their tissues and provide them with food, often leading to coral death.
The loss of biodiversity is another concern, right?
Yes, biodiversity loss is a major consequence of climate change. Many species are unable to adapt quickly enough to the changing conditions. This leads to shifts in ecosystems, where some species thrive while others decline or even go extinct. For example, polar bears are losing their ice habitat, and many plant and animal species are migrating to higher altitudes or latitudes in search of suitable conditions.
These impacts also have direct effects on humans, don't they?
Indeed, human health is directly affected by climate change. Increased temperatures can lead to heat stress and exacerbate cardiovascular and respiratory conditions. There's also a heightened risk of vector-borne diseases like malaria and dengue fever, as warmer climates expand the habitats of mosquitoes and other vectors. Furthermore, extreme weather events can cause injuries, fatalities, and mental health issues.
Given these serious impacts, what can we do to combat climate change?
Addressing climate change requires a multifaceted approach. One crucial step is transitioning to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. These sources produce little to no greenhouse gases compared to fossil fuels. Improving energy efficiency is also vital. This means enhancing the efficiency of buildings, transportation, and industrial processes to reduce overall energy consumption.
What about natural solutions?
Natural solutions play a significant role. Reforestation and afforestation, planting trees and restoring forests help absorb CO2 from the atmosphere. Protecting existing forests is equally important. Sustainable agriculture practices, such as crop rotation, reduced tillage, and organic farming, can also help sequester carbon in the soil and reduce emissions from farming activities.
And how can economic measures help?
Economic measures like carbon pricing can be very effective. By putting a price on carbon emissions, we create financial incentives for businesses and individuals who reduce their carbon footprint. This can be done through carbon taxes or cap-and-trade systems. Additionally, investing in research and development of new technologies for carbon capture and storage, as well as alternative energy sources, is crucial.
Policies and international cooperation must be important too.
Absolutely. Strong policies and international cooperation are essential. Governments need to set and enforce regulations that limit emissions and promote sustainable practices. International agreements, such as the Paris Agreement, are vital for coordinating global efforts and ensuring that all countries contribute to the solution. Public awareness and education also play a critical role in driving individual and collective action.
On a personal level, what can individuals do to contribute?
Individuals can make a significant impact by adopting more sustainable lifestyles. This includes reducing energy use at home, using public transportation or carpooling, recycling, supporting eco-friendly products, and advocating for policies that address climate change. Small changes in daily habits can add up to significant reductions in carbon footprints.
This has been incredibly enlightening. Dr. Green, before we wrap up, do you have any final messages for our viewers?
Yes, climate change is a critical challenge that affects us all, but it's important to remember that we have the power to make a difference. By taking action, whether through personal choices, community efforts, or supporting broader policy changes, we can work towards a sustainable future. To fight against climate change requires collective effort, and every step counts. Let's commit to protecting our planet for ourselves and future generations.
Thank you, Dr. Green, for sharing your insights with us today. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Remember, the fight against climate change starts with each one of us. Stay informed, take action, and together, we can make a difference. If you found this discussion helpful and want to stay updated on important topics like climate change, please consider subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on our expert interviews, in-depth discussions, and actionable tips to make a positive impact on our world. Hit the subscribe button and join our community dedicated to making a difference. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family. Together, we can spread awareness and drive positive change. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you, and let's all keep working towards a brighter, more sustainable future.